I'd have my friends be like, wow, I'm reading this really great book. It's called She's With Me by Ava Violet. Have you read it? And I was like, oh, really? This book? And they'd be like talking about my book that I had written to me. And then I was like, I don't know, maybe I should just like come out and tell everyone who I am. And then I posted my picture on my profile picture was still Ava Violet instead of Jessica Cunsolo. And people just started recognizing me because I guess there were so many faces. And I was like, you know what? This is who I am. I don't care. I write romance. It's fine.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Off the Shelf. Today's guest is Jessica Cunsolo, a best-selling YA author who got her start posting stories on Wattpad at just 17 years old. You might know her from her breakout book, She's With Me, which has since reached over 200 million reads, or her most recent release, The Blind Date Agreement. Jessica, welcome to Off the Shelf.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Of course. Now, your most recent release, The Blind Date Agreement, is about a blind date, obviously. Have you ever been on a blind date? Would you go on one?
That's so funny. I am very recently single. So when I had written the book, I was in a relationship for like 6-7 years. And now that I am single and I'm going on all of these dates, because in the book, the dates are pretty crazy and hilarious. And I was like, are these unrealistic? And now that I'm dating, I'm like, no, I could have went way crazier with these stories. So I'm experiencing it firsthand now.
Now, would you go on a blind date? I never have. Like, I would be scared to, but
I feel like because we have social media now, it's a little bit easier. I can like stalk someone a little bit beforehand.
Fair. Yeah. Okay. Take me back to the beginning, writing on Wattpad. What gave you that like first boost of inspiration to do that?
Yeah, I was always a reader, and my friend introduced me to Wattpad, which is an app that anyone can just read on. And I remember I was in class in high school, and we would all just read on our phones in our desk. And there was a story that had over 100 million reads, and on the author bio, it said that she was 17. And that kind of made me start thinking like, wow, she's 17. She wrote this amazing book. It had 100 million reads. Like, there's really no limits. Anyone can do it. And then I just started writing and posting, and then it just took off from there.
What was it like to like watch the book blow up in real time?
It was wild. I didn't think that anyone would like the book. I was posting chapter by chapter, so I didn't know what would happen. I was kind of just writing what I'd like to read. But then people were reading it and they were commenting and they really loved it. And that's what really pushed me to continue writing and seeing where the story would go.
Now, were you posting anonymously?
I was, yes.
What was like, why was posting anonymously important for you to do?
I think because I was a teenager and I'm like insecure and I'm like writing this romance love story and it's my name. So I was like, people are going to judge me. And then as I got older, I was like, no, judge me. I love writing romance. Like, it's all good. But just starting off, because I was a teenager, like I didn't know what I wanted. I was just writing anonymously and it worked for me.
I mean, even like reading romance as a teenager, people were like, what are you reading? I was like, nothing. Like, not a romance. But now I think you just like when you cross that line into like embracing romance, life just gets a whole lot easier. And you realize, I think a lot of people around you also love romance in the genre. So it's much better.
Yeah. I think that's why like social media is great, because maybe in my little small town, I was the only one going to the library and checking out romance books. But then you have all social media and online, and there's so many other people who are enjoying the same things that you love too, right? And that's why I just love the romance community. It's so beautiful.
It is. It really, it's well put. Do you remember writing that first chapter and like what you were feeling before you posted? Like, was there a lot of like pressure, or were you just like, I'm just gonna post it and see where it goes?
I think because I was anonymous, it was less pressure on me. I was like, I just wrote this chapter. I rewrote it like a million times. It's as good as it's gonna get. I'll just post it and see what happens. I didn't think anyone would really read it. It was kind of just cathartic for me to just start writing. But then people started finding it, so it was really cool.
At what point, like what chapter were you on when people were like, whoa, I love this, like I want more? Like, when did it start to like blow up?
It was pretty early on. I would say about 20 chapters in, I started getting like 100,000 reads. And then by the middle of the book, I was at like 100 million reads. And then I just had to keep writing because so many people were waiting for me to continue the book.
Now, how often, like, I see this as a reader on Wattpad. How many times are you hit with the like, where's the update? When are you going to update the book?
So I'm very notorious for my readers, and I love them because when I see them at book signings, they'll come up to me and tell me that they've been with me since the beginning. And I'm like, I'm so sorry for making you wait months and months for me to update, because I would take months-long breaks. But then I'd come back with like 10 chapters and be like, sorry, like here's 10 chapters.
But I mean, you were in high school at the time of
Yes.
writing your first novel?
Yes. And so then
Wow.
I was in university doing my undergrad in
Okay.
law and society. I thought I wanted to continue and go to law school. Thank God I didn't. I would have been so miserable. But yeah, I was juggling like working and also being in school and writing. And it was just a lot to balance. But I always tried to come back to writing.
I think we talked about this on a recent episode. I went to school for political science.
Oh my goodness.
Also plan on going. There is a group of people who really were dedicated to going to law school and then found their passion somewhere else.
Yeah,
And we need to start a support group for that.
No, really.
When did you make that decision to be like, no, I'm not going to go to law school. I'm going to pursue writing?
I think it was in my third year of my degree when I started getting my book deals and I was writing more than one book. And I was like, you know what? Like, I think I can actually do this if I really dedicate myself to it. I'll finish my degree because I spent all this money. But I finished my degree and I was like, no, we're going full force with my writing.
You were writing anonymously, living like a little bit of a Hannah Montana life. When did you make the decision to be like, actually, like, no, this is me? Like, when did you announce that?
It's funny because I'd have my friends be like, wow, I'm reading this really great book. It's called She's With Me by Ava Violet. Have you read it? And I was like, oh, really? This book? And they'd be like talking about my book that I had written to me. And then I was like, I don't know, maybe I should just like come out and tell everyone who I am. And then I posted my picture on my profile picture with still Ava Violet instead of Jessica Cunsolo. And people just started recognizing me because I guess there were so many faces. And I was like, you know what? Like, this is who I am. I don't care. I write romance. It's fine.
Wow. Why Ava Violet as a pseudonym or a fake name? Where did that come from?
I don't know. I just thought it was pretty.
It is pretty. I do love it. So you're in third year university when you get a book deal. Mm-hmm. What was that like?
It was a little crazy because, as I said, that wasn't my path that I thought I was going on. And then all of a sudden I had this 3-book deal from the 3 books in my She's With Me series. And then I had to really switch trajectory because I was going from just writing for fun to now I need to write professionally and I need to edit this book professionally because it's completely different online to an actual traditionally published book. So it was like a mindset switch for me that now I have to actually like, oh shit, like I have to edit this book now.
Did you lose any like bit of love for it when it became like more of a job, or were you excited to kind of go down that path?
I think it's like a mix of both because you reread the story. Like I can't even tell you how many times I reread She's With Me and had to rewrite it. I think it was originally 150,000 words and then I had to cut it down to 100,000 words. And so like you really want to make sure you're keeping the core of the story and all of those really great moments in it. But it was just like, I love the end product. The end product is amazing, but just rereading it so many times was like, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm starting to read the words that aren't actually there. It was just a lot, but I really love the end product and I love editing for sure.
Wow. What was the reaction from like your friends and family when you were like, I have a book deal? Or did they know about your writing beforehand?
Yeah, I'm very lucky that my parents are so supportive and my friends and my family are super supportive. I couldn't have been able to be a full-time author without my parents being 100% behind me and supporting me in my dreams. So everyone was very excited for me and they all came to my first book signing. Everyone surprised me and showed up. There was like 50 people of all my friends and family and it was just really exciting for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Going back to like you who wrote at 17, what advice would you give like your early author self?
Oh man, I feel like there's so much I would want to say. Definitely don't take 10 months to post between chapters.
10 months?
I feel like I took a really long break at times. I don't think I would do anything differently. I think I would just tell myself to be more confident in like who I am and just believe in your writing and in your journey.
Why do you think She's With Me resonated and like became so popular with readers?
I think at the time I was writing the things that I wanted to read. And I think a lot of people resonated with that. A lot of the themes in She's With Me, like there's found family, there's a lot of angst and tension, which I love my angst and tension and suspense. But I think what She's With Me does really well is it combines a lot of different genres. So it's not just a romance, there's also suspense, there's also a little bit of mystery, there's also humor. And so it's combining all these genres that people really love into this one really great, amazing series. And I think that's why people really resonate with it because it's a little bit different than what you're used to.
I mean, that's why I loved it. I read it, I think, years and years and years ago on Wattpad. I loved it.
Were you waiting for the updates too?
I think it was fully out.
Oh,
I don't
good.
know because if I ever saw something on Wattpad and it wasn't finished,
Yeah, you're waiting.
I don't know if I ever started it because I was like, I'm not gonna. What if they just never update it?
Yeah,
what
like
if I'm
me.
sitting here waiting? What if I'm just here waiting forever and they never do it? Because
Yeah.
some of the Wattpads, like they were so addicting and they like pulled me in every single time.
Yeah.
So no, I think I waited. And
Oh,
got
good.
it.
I'm glad.
I also know it got optioned for TV at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share any updates on that process? Do we know any other information about it?
Yeah, so they're so funny. I'm like the last person to know everything. I wish I had more details to tell you. I know that it's been picked up for a movie. We just did an announcement for it. I wish I could tell you more. I really don't
that's
know
okay.
anything more.
I know the film and TV world is also so slow.
Yeah.
And they pick up all of these books and then it's kind of a waiting game to see what happens. But I mean, I'll take that. That's okay. We have a little segment about blind dates. And so we have like a list of things that might happen on a blind date or a first date. And you and I are going to say if they're a green flag, a red flag, or a beige flag.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
So they show up 15 minutes late, but they bring you flowers.
Oh, beige.
Okay.
Beige. I feel like I'm very good with being on time, but then he brought flowers. Maybe like there was a lineup at the grocery store. I don't know what's happening. I'll
that's
give
what
him some grace.
I know, it's tough. I'm notoriously early.
Yeah.
Like I would be sitting in the parking lot 15 minutes before the date and then walk in on time. So if he was 15 minutes late, that's a half an hour.
That's so
I don't
true.
know. I would lean maybe towards red, but the flowers do help. And you're right. There could be a
Yeah, maybe there's like a lineup. But if it's consistently a thing, no, totally red
fair.
flag. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. They suggest splitting the bill.
That's a red flag for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a red flag. I don't know. You're taking me out. I spent 2 hours doing my hair and makeup. It's pretty expensive.
And your hair and makeup looks great. We talked
Thank
about
you.
this
So
before
does
we
yours.
started. Thank you. I think it's tough because I try to move away from like the man always has to pay. But it is, I don't know, it is nice. Like you do feel special. But if I'm the one maybe prompting the date, then it's different. And a blind date is also tough, but I think depends.
Yeah.
Okay, they talk about being friends with their ex.
Oh, I don't know. That's a red flag for me.
Okay.
And I feel like that's also the reason why this might be controversial. I don't care for second chance romance books because I feel like once we're done, like we're done. So if
you'd never write a second chance romance?
I'll read it, but they're not my favorite.
Okay.
Because to me, it's like, he did you so wrong. And now you're like, no, we can't. So if a man is talking about his ex and their friends, it's like,
For years, I avoided second chance romances because of that. I was
Yeah.
like, no, once they're done, it's done. And I think that I believe in that in real life.
Yeah.
I think whether or not like I'm okay to admit that actually, but I forget. I think it was The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. That's a second chance romance. And that kind of changed my opinion on the trope overall.
Interesting.
Because I was like, if nothing bad happens and just miscommunication,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
then I can get on board with it. But in real life,
No, in real life, no.
done. They leave their phone out on the table.
Ooh. If it's just there, that's fine. I feel like it's okay. Beige flag. But if they're like consistently on it, red flag for sure.
I would agree with you there. It's tough when it's even like when I'm at home these days, I'm trying not to leave my phone out, even like especially if it's up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's 6 p.m. like or 7 or 8.
Like,
gonna
who's
message
texting me?
Who's
Yeah.
gonna text me? Who like
I'm not that important.
it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it would bug me if they had their phone out.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Common courtesy, put it away.
Put it away. Put it away. Have it on vibrate, something like that. Okay, they refuse to order dessert.
Oh, that's a red flag for me.
Okay.
I'm a dessert girl. I'm not splitting dessert. Like, I want my own dessert.
Fair. I would say it's beige only because I would go somewhere else for dessert.
True. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Unless the dessert is really good at the restaurant, but I always find it so overpriced.
Yeah.
So I'm often the one refusing dessert, and I'm like, let's just go to.
Like Dairy Queen.
Yes. Okay, last one. They planned the whole date but didn't ask for your input.
Oh, for me, that's beige because I don't eat meat. So if like they're like, we're going to a steakhouse, and I'm like, well, actually, I don't eat meat, then it's, at least know what I
Fair.
like. If they know me for a while and they're like, I know you'll love this restaurant, then it's like, okay, that's fine. But otherwise, it's a little beige for me.
I can get on board with that because I don't like seafood. So I would, and I also like to be in control
Yeah.
at all given points. So if they plan something, I don't know, but I think it's also kind of cute. It definitely depends.
Yeah.
But we go with beige. We'll
Yeah,
go there.
we'll stay there.
Okay. The Blind Date Agreement is your recent book.
Yes.
Can you tell us all, what is this book about? What will readers find in this book?
Yeah, so this is one of my more fun summer reads. You just want to read it, take your mind off of things. It's a YA coming of age. It's about a 17-year-old girl named Karina, and her two best friends have gotten into relationships, and they're kind of absorbed in them now. So she's feeling like a fifth wheel. And her friends are like, hey, you're always fifth wheeling us. Prom is coming up. Let's set you up on a bunch of dates so you're not fifth wheeling us there. And she's like, no, it's okay. I'm okay being single. Because she's also secretly in love with her best friend's boyfriend. And when they start getting suspicious, she's like, oh, actually, you know what? I will go on those dates. There's no reason I don't want to go on them. Let's do this. And it just spirals out of control. And it's so funny. And there's a lot of self-growth and self-discovery in this book. So while it is just like a fun little summer read, there is a whole bunch of depth and like self-growth in it as well.
Now, if someone really loved She's With Me, where would they see parallels in this book, and where did you explore other themes?
Yeah, She's With Me is a little bit heavier. This one is more of like a light summer read, but there's definitely the same themes. There's the angst, there's a little bit of found family, there's a self-growth in it. I keep a lot of the same humor in it as well. I just love having those little like shots of humor in it to break up everything. It is different vibes. She's With Me is a little bit heavier, a little bit more dramatic. This is a bit more fun, but there's still the drama, there's still the angst, there's still like the opposites attract. It's just a lot of fun.
How has your writing process changed from the first book compared to this most recent one?
Oh, that's a great question. I think in my first book, I was just writing for fun. I wasn't looking at the craft of writing at all. And now that this is my job, I'm definitely taking the craft into more consideration and trying to really get those plot points and the acts out and making sure that it flows as a whole book. Because after editing 8 books, it's do it right the first time. It's a lot easier.
No, you're a full-time author now.
Yes.
Can you take us through like a day in your life? Like, what does it look like?
Yeah, so I wake up, I have my little dog, Leo. He's a Morkie. He's like 10 pounds, and he follows me everywhere. So he forces me outside a lot when I'm stuck in my little writing dungeon in my office. I'll walk him, and then I'll sit down, and then I have Discord on with my other author friends, and we just chat, and we like change ideas, and it's just fun. And I just sit and write on my computer, and then I go to bed. Not very exciting.
No, I think that's great. I also don't live a very exciting life. Like I read sometimes all day. There's really great banter in this book. Do you ever act it out or say it out loud in your brain, or does it just come naturally to you?
I think as I'm writing, the characters' personalities really shine, and as I'm going, the banter will just flow, and it makes me laugh. So a lot of times when you're reading banter, that's something that has not been edited. That was just like the first draft, like I just shot it out. It was so good. I just didn't have to touch it because you could just feel how naturally it flows. And I love having banter in all my books.
No,
It
and
makes
it's
me laugh.
great. You mentioned the characters' like personalities really shine, and I feel that in the books. I feel like I know who these characters are. Do you plan them ahead of time, or do you just write?
Yeah, I'm a pantser, so I just sit down and whatever happens, happens. I don't have an outline. I kind of have a general gist of what I want to happen, but how I get there, who these characters are, don't really reveal themselves until I sit down and start writing. And a lot of times it works out. Like they reveal themselves and they are who they are, and then you just play with it along the way.
Do you think that's because now I'm curious, do you think that's because you started on Wattpad when you were so young and your writing process has just kind of continued where you're just writing whatever feels natural?
Yeah, I feel like there was a term someone had said, and I thought it was brilliant. It's called intuitive writing. And you're kind of just writing intuitively on what comes naturally to you in the storyline. And a lot of times, like you're still hitting the same beats that someone who outlined it, but it just flows way more naturally. And then you can go back and like edit it and make sure it's perfect after anyways. But as the story is unfolding, it's unfolding naturally, which I think is beautiful.
I don't know if you took the comments into consideration when you're on Wattpad, but do you ever miss the like consistent feedback after every chapter, or is it nice to kind of write in your own bubble now?
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I can say this 100% why I finished any books is because the comments were like, hey, where are you? We're waiting for this update. So now that I'm writing offline, like there's no one there kind of poking me to finish. It's just my own dedication to it. I really loved the comments. I loved reading them. I loved interacting with them. They motivated me 100%. Like I would not be here without the comments and the readers. And it's funny because someone had asked me if the comments ever influenced what I had written. And they don't really. It's just like I just enjoyed reading them. But I will say that they catch things that you miss. For example, in She's With Me, it's a hidden identity. And she had mentioned in the chapter, like, oh, my roots are growing in. I need to dye my hair again. And like me as the author, like I was just writing, having a good time. And like 10 chapters later, someone was like, hey, it's been a month at the book and like she still didn't dye her hair. So then I was like, oh man. So I had to go back and re-dye her hair. So like they catch these things that you miss, which is great for me.
Oh my, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wattpad readers are
They're pretty good.
dedicated.
They're on it.
Can I ask why the 10 months to update? Like, were you just busy with school?
Yeah, like to school, I think I was working like 2 or 3 jobs. Like it's just life is in the way. And like this wasn't a career for me. It was just a hobby. So I had to like make money and like get my degree and stuff. And then I was like, okay, like let me go back and continue writing. So I would just take these little breaks to like let life happen. And then I'd always come back to writing.
Got it. And you were young. You were so young. Not only you were a writer, but you're an artist. I saw on your Instagram that you had drawn Karina and Jay.
Yeah.
When did you learn to draw? How did that come to be?
Well, because I always saw like this beautiful art that people were posting of their characters. And at the time, like I didn't have the money to hire these amazing artists. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to purchase Procreate and then I'll just teach myself how to draw that way. And I did, and I would just start drawing and like learning the techniques. And as you go on, it gets a little bit better. Now that I'm older and a bit more successful, I can hire these really great artists. But I just love drawing myself because you get to see like the vision in your head, like exactly how you saw it.
Would you ever consider like doing your own covers or other like?
No, I'm not that good. Don't give me that much credit.
No, they were really good. We'll put a visual of this episode. They're really good.
Thank you.
What else do you like to draw then?
It's really just for my own promos, like the characters, the backgrounds. It's a lot of help for when I'm trying to edit my socials, just like that. I wish I had more time to draw and get better and practice, but it's only when I have the time.
No, they're great.
Thank
I will
you.
give you full credit there. What do you hope readers take away from this book?
I hope they take away that, you know, life is messy and imperfect, and it's okay to not know what's happening. Be who you want to be and don't feel like you have to give into pressures of who other people want you to be, and just be happy, have a good time, enjoy the book.
Wow, no, that's great. It's a very like fun summer romance book in my opinion. Also on your Instagram, you mentioned about what you're writing next, that you are drafting, I'm going to read this word for word, a new adult, spicy, enemies to lovers, Medusa meets The Witcher romantasy. What can you tell us about that?
I can tell you that fantasy world building is not for the weak. You really have to get in there and build this world. I've just been thinking about this story for so long. I love The Witcher, I love Medusa, and I feel like I could do a really fun like mashup of the two of them with my own world and my own creation. I love enemies to lovers. I love the angst. I love the tension. I love the who did this to you moment. Like it's just so much fun, and I think there's just so much to play with in a fantasy world. So I'm really excited to start leaning into that.
Okay, now on The Witcher, are you caught up with it? What was your thoughts on the actor change?
I am not caught up in it, but I will say that I am obsessed with Henry Cavill. And every time someone sends me a meme of The Witcher in his hot tub, I'm like, how can they make this better? So I don't know. I didn't watch it. Maybe Liam did him justice, but I
also haven't watched it, so I have no idea. And I think, what season are they on right now? I have no idea.
I don't know.
But I remember I watched the first like 1 or 2 with Henry Cavill, and I'm surprised they kept it going with a new actor, truthfully. Absolutely no hate to Liam Hemsworth, but Henry Cavill was just...
He was just very delicious.
Pretty much unbeatable. Where does your love for like a Medusa story come in from?
I don't know. I think Medusa is a very misunderstood character. I feel like now in the more recent like years, people are kind of understanding her a little bit better. I just thought it would be fun to play with and to like actually give her like a real story and just see where it goes.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned romantasy world building.
Yes.
Are you creating an outline for this? Did you?
For this, I just need to know my world. The actual like story and what happens, I will make up as it goes. But the world, I feel like I need to know the rules of the world before I start making stuff up.
Now, are you a romantasy reader yourself?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what do you like to read?
Oh man, I love spicy romantasy. But I'm just an enemies to lovers girl. I don't know what to tell you. I love the angst. I love the tension. So if it says enemies to lovers, like I am there.
What have you read recently that you've loved?
Oh, okay. I will plug one of my very best friends, Jordan Lind. Her book, Until the World Falls Down, just came out. It's a Labyrinth Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's very spicy, very great. It was so good, yeah.
I used to devour like any Beauty and the Beast retelling when I was like 13 because of my favorite. Like,
yeah,
sort
it's
of
just
Disney
so good
story.
because the tension and the angst.
The tension,
like,
you're right. No, I know, I get it. It makes sense. Speaking like for new, maybe for 17-year-olds, they want to get into writing.
Yeah.
Would you recommend starting on Wattpad? Like, what would be your best advice? What did you learn throughout the entire process?
My favorite advice to give to writers is write what you want to read. Don't write what you think will sell. I feel like you can tell the difference in when someone's writing something they think will sell versus what they feel very inspired to write. It just flows so much more naturally. And I feel like you can just tell the difference. I also would say don't be hard on yourself. My first drafts are not pretty. Like I've gotten in there a few times and rewritten it. So don't be hard on yourself. Just have fun and then worry about making it good later.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And you liked Wattpad starting out. Like, do you think it is helpful for new writers?
I think Wattpad was a really great community to find other writers as well. I learned so much about myself and my craft from talking to other writers that I met on Wattpad. They're just brilliant. They're very brilliant. They're very kind. They're very smart, and they know what they're doing. So I think just building that community was really helpful for me.
Wow. Anything else that you can say what you're working on next? I know we have this Witcher romantasy,
Yes.
Medusa. Do we have a release date? Like, what are you working on next?
Well, I was focused on this one now that this
Of
one is
course.
out in the world. I'm working on that romantasy. I'm also working on a new adult enemies to lovers bodyguard romance. I was so excited I couldn't even say the word. So we're working on that now. No release dates. I'm just drafting and seeing where I want to go.
Okay, one last question. You just mentioned, I mean, this book, as of recording, came out this week.
Yes.
What is that feeling on release day? Like, do you feel like a weight has lifted off your shoulders, or are you more like, okay, like I hope people like it?
Yeah, I'm just excited that it's finally out in the world because I've been talking about this book forever and now everyone just gets to read it and experience it. And now like I get people like talking to me about it because I get so many messages and I love reading the messages of people who enjoyed the book and now it resonated with them. And that's the best part because until then, I don't know people's thoughts. I don't know if they enjoy it. I don't know if it resonated with them. But once it's out and like I get that like feedback, it's just really fun.
Yeah, no, it's great. This is a book that everyone should absolutely read this summer. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I had so much fun.
Of course. And thank you all for listening to Off the Shelf, and we will see you next Thursday.